Well, good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about holding on to the one who holds on to us. Holding on, not letting go, is a major motif in many action movies and thrillers. Often there's a crucial, pivotal scene when someone is hanging on by their fingertips, about to fall into an abyss or fall to their death. There are hold-on scenes in Back to the Future, Star Wars, Tightrope, 2009, Star Trek, Vertical Limit, True Lies, Vertigo, Jurassic Park, Gravity, Captain America, Cliffhanger, Mission Impossible, Lord of the Rings. You get the point. It's also a common theme that occurs in dreams, perhaps voicing a deep subconscious and profound existential sense that we're losing our grips or we're hanging on by our fingertips and we're afraid that we're going to fall back into the void. Many of us at this time may feel that we're losing our grip. Coronavirus has caused seismic shaking in our world, but in our own lives personally, in our routines and our work and our relationships and rhythms and with our money and our holidays and our plans, not to mention the threat on our health and our lives. In Psalm 63 we meet David, and he's a man on the run. Saul, the king, is trying to kill him. He's alone, he's afraid, he's lost everything. He's lost his job, his home, his security, his position, and here he is in hiding in the desert. And in Psalm 63, we see his remarkable response. He doesn't sink into self-pity, doesn't start breathing out murderous threats against those who are after him. He doesn't start shriveling up. He doesn't blame God. In fact, he doesn't apportion blame to anyone. What he does is he turns to God in prayer and worship, and he remembers God, and he savors the memories of times when things were good. I want to highlight verse 8 in Psalm 63. It says this: "My soul clings to you, God, and your right hand holds me." My soul clings to you, and your right hand holds me. Let me make 2 points. Firstly, David clings to God. The Hebrew word here for cling, translated cling, is dobak, something like that anyway. And it means literally to cling, to stick, to stay close, to cleave, to follow closely, to join in. The word cling, translated there, is the same as we find in Genesis 2:24, when God says that a man will leave his home and his family and will cleave to his wife. Adam cleaves. It's the same word. Clings, holds on, becomes one with. This life or death crisis for David could have sent him into freefall. He could have let go of God, but instead he chooses to hold on more tightly. And cling is at the heart of the message that Moses gave to the Israelites towards the end of his life, having given them the law, having brought them out of Egypt and brought them to the edge of the promised land. He repeatedly uses this word, that they're to fear the Lord, they're to serve him, and they're to cling to him. Joshua, who led the people of Israel into the promised land, at the end of his life, in his final speech, says to them, "You are to cling to the Lord, even as you have done up until now." Don't stop. I really like what Jeremiah the prophet in chapter 13, verse 11 said. He said that just as a belt clings around the waist of a person, so Israel clings to God. We've got to belt up. We've got to belt ourselves to Jesus at this time. The great reformer Martin Luther said this: "Let us keep to Christ and cling to him and hang on to him so that no power can remove. Often we cling to the wrong thing, idolatry or things from the past or pain or resentments or memories, bad habits, hurts. In this time of crisis, when everything's shaking, let us cling to the Lord. That's the first thing that we see David did. But then look at what David says. He knows that the Lord upholds him. The Lord clings to him. David clings to God, Dorbak in Hebrew, and God clings to David, Tormak in Hebrew. He holds him. He holds him secure. He grasps him and he keeps him. Jesus promised his disciples that no one would ever snatch them out of his hand. He actually repeated it, John 10:28, John 10:29. No one will snatch them out of my Father's hands. Those nail-pierced hands, held to the cross by love, securely hold us. I love that picture of Mother Julian of Norwich, who had a vision of Jesus holding the world like an acorn. Just the whole world, just like a little acorn in the hand of the Lord. His grip is firm and secure and tenacious and yet tender, and he won't let go. We hold on to him, and he holds on to us. Towards the end of Lord of the Rings, there's a pivotal scene where Frodo and Sam have made it to Mount Doom, seeking to destroy the ring of power that's going to be misused to control the world, and they want to throw it in the lake of fire. When suddenly Frodo is attacked by Gollum, who seizes the ring, and then he stumbles, falls back into the lake of fire, and the ring is melted. But Frodo is knocked off the edge, and he hangs on, and he's dangling over the molten lava, hanging on by his fingertips. And then there is Sam, faithful Sam, who with tears of love in his eyes reaches down his hand to Frodo. And he says, give me your hand and take my hand. Don't you let go. Don't let go. Reach.